Martha Stewart sits down and gives the most hypocritical response I've ever seen anyone give. And I think it really may encapsulate many of the issues we're seeing with gender dynamics, unexpected, unmet expectations, and just flat out hypocrisy and double standards. Okay, so shout out to our very own Kelly P. She's a mod here. She sent me this. I thought this was amazing. This was so great.
Okay.
This was so great. This absolutely encapsulates the delusion that some people have and how some people navigate life.
Advice: if you're married and you think you're happily married and your husband starts to cheat on you, he's a piece of shit.
Pause it.
Okay. Okay.
If you're married,
I'm not against it. I'm against the language.
your husband's starting to cheat on you.
Yeah.
He's a POS.
Okay.
Okay. So hide your kids, hide your wife. There's might be a little bit of profanity.
I agree.
Sensible take.
Reasonable.
Sensible take.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
And look at him, it's a piece of shit. Get out of it. Get out of that marriage.
Okay. So her advice: get out of that marriage.
Okay.
How you feel about that?
He's cheating on her?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
If your
biblical-
husband is cheating on you, you POS, get out of that marriage.
Okay. That's biblical grounds for divorce.
Biblical grounds for divorce.
Okay.
Gets better though.
Okay. Okay.
But I couldn't do that. Couldn't walk away.
Uh-oh. This sounds like the beginning to a daggone Dateline episode.
So she decides to stay with her husband, who's a POS, because he's cheating on her. She couldn't get away. Now, it's not uncommon.
So I cooked him bad meals for the rest of his life.
It's not uncommon for people to stay in not the greatest situations. People who don't know Jesus.
Yeah.
Maybe people who do know Jesus and they want to fight for their marriage.
Yeah.
And they look past certain things that are grounds, but they decide to stay for whatever reason. Because there's repentance, because they want to stay for the family, yada, yada. It's not uncommon.
Mm-hmm.
But this takes a weird turn.
Okay.
For far too long, the bar for Christians has been set low. We've settled into a culture of sloth when it comes to spiritual matters. More Christians are skipping church, watching online, too busy for group, and not serving in their local church communities. They go about their lives not feeling connected to Jesus, and in turn, their salvation goes unnoticed by their unsaved peers. They've become indistinguishable from the world around them. We need to shift from asking, what is the bare minimum I can do for Christ, and start asking, what would it look like to live a life entirely devoted to Him? What do my friendships, marriage, and family relationships look like when I'm entirely devoted to Jesus? And what do my coworkers and colleagues notice about me that reflects Jesus' calling on my life? What is my relationship to my local church if I'm entirely devoted to Him? And if I were to remove those external environments and influences, in those moments of solitude, what am I craving? What consumes my mind and my desires? Who am I to my core? What does it look like to embrace my purpose, my calling, and my personal ministry in complete surrender and devotion to Christ? 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 12 describes a life that seems to have been forgotten. Live such good lives among the pagans that though they accuse you of doing wrong, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day He visits us. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 11 and 12 instructs the leaders to equip God's people to do His work and build up the church, the body of Christ. So join me and my favorite pastors, podcasters, and performers March 27th through 29th at the Bless God Summit in Southern California, and discover your personal ministry, calling, and purpose when living in complete devotion to Jesus. It's time to stop blending in and start living out the life you were called to live. We'll see you there.
Didn't you have an affair early on in the relationship, or when you were a stockbroker?
Yeah,
That's that producer accountability. He said, I don't work for you.
Isn't that good?
We're a documentary.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold you accountable. I know you're used to your show where you never get pressed on anything.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't that good?
That was a plot twist.
So he's like, hey, wait a minute. You know, you just said that you are going to do this and he's a POS. However, didn't you do the same thing?
I don't think Andy ever knew about that.
He did say that.
He did?
I don't think Andy ever knew about that. He did know about that. He said he knew about that.
And then she said he did. Also, him knowing about it doesn't change the behavior.
What you mean?
Just because he didn't know that she cheated doesn't mean that it's less of cheating than if he cheated on her and she knew about it.
Yes. Fair enough.
What?
But the utter hypocrisy, the utter, if he does this, you ought to do this.
Yep.
But you did this, and yet you think it's okay.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, but it gets better, friends.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, you would confess to him.
Oh.
He says he didn't stray from the marriage until you told him you had already strayed.
Oh, that's not true.
Does she have dementia or something?
Maybe.
Because he's telling her what she said to him.
That she confessed to him, and then he strayed from the marriage after she first strayed from the marriage.
So he was like, "Oh, you didn't cheat on me. This is like an open marriage."
Yeah, Andy's probably thinking it's an open marriage.
Oh, okay. Gotcha, Martha.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think.
But what happened? You had an affair.
Watch
I
this.
had a very brief affair with a very attractive Irish man. And it was just nothing.
Hold on.
Come on. What?
But if a man does this, he's a POS.
This is why she hangs out with
You
Snoop Dogg.
you need to get out of there.
This is why she's homies
She
with Snoop
thinks she's
Dogg.
a pimp.
She's like, look. If a key can
It's
open
different
a
when
door,
women do
it's
it.
a master key.
It's
but the
different.
door that gets opened by 1,000 keys is broken.
She thinks she's Andrew Tate. Wait a minute.
She's like, I'm rich and I cook for him every night, so it's kind of like okay for me to do that.
It's nothing.
With a very attractive Irishman, it was nothing.
Did I mention that he was very attractive?
Yes, and he was Irish.
What?
That's crazy.
What?
nothing.
This makes no sense.
In terms of, it would never have broken up. I would never have broken up a marriage for it.
He said that's the reason he started getting with other women, because you started getting with other men and you sending mixed signals.
And now he's a POS.
And now he's a POS?
Yeah.
But you could do it?
Hello.
It was nothing. It's nothing. Young women listen to.
This is a sickness.
They did her dirty with that edit too.
One time from Martha Stewart, bro.
They did her dirty with the edit too. Was that Martha stood firm in that hypocrisy.
Yo, she stood
She's
10 toes down in her completely incoherent approach to a relationship.
It was nothing.
It was nothing. Yeah, Stewart Tate, that was crazy. So this brings up an interesting question.
What is the difference between a woman that wants to be a wife versus a woman that just wants a husband?
Oh, you know what? I think most of us are bred to just want a husband. Whereas to be groomed and trained to be a wife means to understand how to respect masculine energy, how to truly be inside of your feminine, which means trusting the leadership of your partner, because feminine chooses certainty. Feminine doesn't choose flow, because feminine is flow, right? Feminine energy. When we choose to
Just let me just say, I hate all the use of flow and energy in this.
Flow and feminine energy and
But is she onto something about most people just want to be somebody's spouse? Most women want to be somebody's spouse without being trained into being a wife.
yeah, I want a husband that treats me like a queen, but like I don't want to do all the other parts of it. I don't want to be the wife that treats him like a king.
Sounds like Martha Stewart.
Martha, oh man.
Go ahead.
understand that it is our biggest opportunity to seek out the needs of a man without him expressing them. I think a beautiful opportunity for us to empower that man and ride through the storms. I feel like we live in a weak generation where things get hard and people immediately are like, oh, I quit. This is too hard. And that's like, it's never going to hinder you the result you want. If you keep quitting, it's to be groomed as a wife means it's compassion. It's longevity. That's where marriage starts.
What?
So, is there something to this idea that folks are not cool with being molded into the type of person that functions productively?
If he does this, he's a
marriage?
POS, but I'll completely forget about all the stuff that I do that feeds to that destructive situation. Because I'm not actually molding myself to be the person, the spouse that I would want.
Yeah. Or I'm not around women that are great spouses that'll give me game and that'll help me become the type of person. Because I feel like, at least in the church, I feel like this happens a lot with men. Like men definitely tell other men, what it means to be a good husband. I mean, that was our entire sermon this past weekend.
Yeah.
Right? This is what it means to be a godly man. And the scriptures instruct the older women to do this for the younger women.
Yeah.
So that training and that molding is something that needs to happen, because you're not you're not that naturally.
Yeah.
You have to be molded into that. Men and women. It's not either way. But this comes off weird. This comes off harsher to women for some reason. Like they think it just is supposed to happen naturally for them. But nothing comes natural.
Yeah.
Nothing worth having comes natural, meaning that everything that you want to be excellent at requires molding. Anything you want to do that is valuable, worthwhile, requires you being molded, training, proficiency, right? So on and so forth. Except people think they'll just get marriage right. I'll naturally know how to be a good spouse. I'll naturally know how to be a good parent.
Yeah.
And it's like, you didn't naturally learn how to drive. You didn't naturally learn how to do your taxes. You didn't naturally learn how to budget your income.
Yes.
You had to chisel yourself into that, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Comment down below and let me know what you think. And be sure to check out this video that YouTube is recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.